What's up, everyone? It's Thomas with Real Broker here in St. Augustine, Florida, coming at you live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. going over the market stats, the news you need to know about if you think about buying, selling, or investing here in northeastern Florida. And we're also doing a Q&A. So if you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay, make sure you throw your comments and your questions below. I try to answer every single one of them while we're here live, but also if I'm not live anymore, you're watching the replay, then I'll come back and try to answer those questions for you here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. for you guys. So this time is, pretty much to inform you about what's going on here locally based on the news that happened the past week, and also to answer any questions you might have. So every week we do this, and I like to think that it provides a good bit of value. I have some people that are consistent viewers of the show, which I actually really enjoy, and we even got some contributions once again from one of the viewers as well, CB. He sent me another article, which I think is going to be it's more or less a funnier piece than we typically would cover. But let me just go into the market stats real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, is that right?
This is two ball four.
Uh-oh.
Real
That's not what we want.
Get our best price up, commission-free sales, money back.
Do this. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let me get to my PDF. Where is it? I just had it open. What the heck? Okay, what the heck? That's frustrating. All right, let's check it out here. Sorry, still getting used to this new live stream feature. It is a little bit different than what I was using before, but I can actually stream to multiple places. So if you're watching on Facebook, let me know. If you're watching on Instagram, throw me a comment below. YouTube, I should be. That's my main source. So let's take a look at the March closed sales, guys. So this is just a clear, concise review of what happened in March. So 63% of our sales were between $200,000 and $500,000, down 1% from 64. 115 sales over $1 million, which is up from 93. And we have seen, seems like our luxury market has just continually kept moving. When you compare our luxury market to many other luxury markets in Florida, we're pretty much cheaper all day. All day. Like it's pretty staggering when you look at it. 26% of the cash were cash sales, down from 28%. So roughly a quarter of our homes are sold for cash. The sold to original list price is 96%, which is up from 95%. So seeing a good tick up month over month. 39% of properties had concessions noted, up from 38%. The average seller concession was around $10,000. New construction jumped up to almost $17,000 in concession. And I mean, I honestly think that's only counting like what they're giving, what they're putting on the MLS. I don't think they're actually reporting like what they're doing with the rate buy downs. And also they say, hey, maybe we can't do anything for the price, but then we'll give you extra money so that if you want to put in fans or you want to put in a screen and porch, we're seeing a lot of that too. And then the average existing home is $7,500, which it's hard for a seller to compete with new construction when they have much larger profit margins than just your average Joe would, right? New construction was 25% of the sales, and that's a clear as day right here when you're looking at $17,000 they're going to give you versus a resale is only going to give you $7,500. So they're going to give you're going to pocket $10,000 more just by going with a new construction home. On top of that, you're also getting a brand new house, right? So it's something that you're going to walk in there and have delayed maintenance for at least 5 years. Everything's going to be under warranty. You're going to have the builder warranty. You're typically going to have a 1 or 2 year material defect warranty from the builder. All your appliances are under warranty. That's including your AC, including the stove. So, it makes a lot of sense to just stick with the new construction build. So let me finish this Let me finish this part up here. Yeah, so, and that's no secret here. I mean, I have a listing right now, and it's right outside of Silverleaf, and there's 9 builders in Silverleaf right now, all with new construction homes, building all over the place. That's going to have around 17,000 homes when they're at the completion of Silverleaf. And we're competing with them, and it's difficult. We're offering a rate buy down. We're priced really well. And we're even having a lender throw in some incentives now too. So, that's just kind of what you have to do in today's market. So, if you are looking to sell in the area and you are buying new construction, you really need to have a good conversation about what that looks like for you. So let's hop into the news stories here, and we're going to start as we always do. We try to do a national news story, go to state, and then we'll do local stuff here. So if we're looking at the national news story, let me share my screen here. This just shares the entire screen. Okay, we just want to share Google Chrome. Let's see here. All right, so hop back over here. Oh, there we go. That's where it was before. All right, so if you guys haven't heard, Jerome Powell came out and talked about what they're going to do with the federal funds rate, and they've essentially landed at they're not going to do anything, and that is a 5.5. So right now they decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25 to 5.5%. Just looking at inflation, looking at job growth, they don't feel comfortable lowering that rate right now. There were some people that were scared that they actually might raise the federal funds rate come this meeting, but he's kind of indicated, Jerome Powell indicated that that is probably not going to happen. And then the markets also then correlated with that, and we saw mortgage rates move down slightly. And really these guys are already pricing in what they are almost certain that the Fed is going to do. Now there is no certainty. They do kind of allude to what they're going to do. They never say we're going to do this next month. We're going to do this next month. They never say that, but they always kind of leave like breadcrumbs, of kind of hints that you need to figure out on your own. And the market kind of already baked that in. So we did see a slight decrease in interest rates, which it's 7.4% is not anything to write home about, but hopefully we continue to see rates continue to go down, and then maybe with better inflation data, we'll see the federal funds rate go down, and then hopefully interest rates will start to follow. And that's really the toughest thing, is why you're seeing those concessions from new construction builders, is they have the ability, they have the profit margin to buy down your rate, in a big way. Like Lennar, for example, right now, they have tons of communities where they're at 4.99% on their interest rate. D.R. Horton's buying down to 5.75, 5.99 in a lot of instances with VA, FHA loans. And with pretty much all of those instances as well, they're paying closing costs. So if your home is $400,000 that you're looking to buy, they're going to be roughly paying, pretty much all your closing costs. And on a $400,000 home, that's going to be like $14,000. So that's $14,000 you keep in your pocket, and that'll definitely cover a couple mortgage payments. And especially they'll be at the lowered rate of the 5.75 or the 6% compared to a 7.5% rate. So it makes all the sense in the world for you to go to a new construction home, even though you might not want to. It's just really the best deal in the market today. And when interest rates do go down, if they do go down, right, that'll probably change. But as of right now, these guys they got the biggest budgets to be able to make things happen, right? And they want to keep their sales going. They don't want to lower the price on homes, but they will give incentives out the wazoo when it comes down to the mortgages and closing costs, right? So, and that's even something too that I've experimented with here is putting in offers with new construction builders, and it's worked in a lot of cases. It's pretty surprising what they're willing to do and how they'll change things. Negotiating the lot premium, negotiating more closing costs than they're typically offering, rate buy downs, price you can kind of budge a little bit, but they're not really trying to do too much of that because they want to keep their appraisals for the neighborhood. So negotiations are coming back with new construction, which, year ago, 2 years ago, that wasn't a thing. They tell you to kick rocks. So pretty interesting. Guys, if you have any questions about new construction that I can answer, go ahead and throw them in the comments below or reach out directly. Love to be able to help out on that front. Let's head on to the next news story, and this just switches over just instantly. Okay, I don't know if I like that yet. So let's go to Florida right now. I read a New York Times article, but of course it wanted me to register, and I'm not paying for New York Times. But Florida's 6-week abortion ban takes effect, cutting off access in much of the South. More than 9,000 people traveled to Florida for abortions last year. The new law means the state is no longer a refuge for abortion access in the South. So if you haven't heard, last year Governor DeSantis put this bill forward. Apparently, from what New York Times says, it was in a dimly lit room in the middle of the night with co-conspirators around him advocating for this. I don't think a 6-week, I think it's just interesting that, you know, a lot of these positions are men that were trying to tell women what to do. You know, like I don't know, I have a wife. Doesn't work. You don't just tell them what to do, right? And aside from that, like, DeSantis isn't a doctor, Biden's not a doctor, I'm not a doctor. Who's to say? Like, I have no idea when life starts in a woman's body. You know, I could Google it and probably figure it out, but a doctor should totally make that decision, right, of when it's okay. And yeah, so a 6-week abortion limit seems kind of really low, because most women won't even know, you know, within the first month or so. So it seems like that's not enough time, just in case if you didn't know and you weren't trying to have a baby, that could be detrimental to your life. But, you know, guys, I don't make the rules, and I definitely think that this is going to have some pushback. From what the New York Times said, other articles as well, said essentially that because DeSantis was going on his presidential race, he thought this would help, you know, bring him up amongst conservatives and Republicans. And the state of Florida is really not rocking with it, I don't think. I don't really see anyone that's like gung-ho about 6 weeks. So I think it's odd that they're continuing to move forward, but they also say that like the posturing, because DeSantis is far removed from the presidential race now, the posturing of like party lines of like, I'm over here, you're over there, has kind of fizzled down a good bit. I imagine we're going to see a big fight about this in several months. Apparently it's going to go on the ballot in November. So we'll stay up to date on all that kind of stuff. Going to go on to the next news story, guys. If you have any questions about that, if you have any thoughts or comments, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, 6 weeks to me, it doesn't seem like enough time, right? So I don't know. I don't know much about it, but pretty interesting. So on to the next news story. Now, CB submitted this one. Thank you, CB, for submitting this. Now, guys, help out if you can. Woodpecker's Backyard Barbecue on US 1 is looking for the return of Tiptoe after he was stolen. Someone in, I believe it was a red Honda, 2 people in a red vehicle are seen in surveillance footage between 1:15 and 1:45 a.m. where they're chasing the roosters and pinning him in a corner. And they said that from the video it looked like they had full intention of hurting them. But yeah, this is the rooster here. This is Tiptoe. Someone stole him. And Woodpecker's Barbecue would like him back. They said that they've had him for 4 years, and they're kind of upset that this is going on, and they want to make sure he's safe. Return the rooster, no questions asked, guys. Just return the rooster. If you know anyone who has a rooster on their property all of a sudden, it's probably them. What is this, a Chevy Malibu or something? No, it's probably a Honda. Yeah, it looks like some high schoolers or something. I don't know. Yeah, so, yeah, they look pretty young. But probably just being stupid kids. Hopefully they return the rooster safe and sound. But guys, I don't have too many crazy news stories for you this week. I feel like the abortion ban, the federal funds rate, that was pretty much the, you know, icing on the cake here. But this is another good one here. City buys last developable acreage of Fish Island in St. Augustine to preserve it. And this is amongst, like, I mean, we're hearing so much pushback from the locals here in terms of development. And now all of Fish Island south of 312 Bridge will be preserved in part of a passive park. So the family that owned it, they've had it since like the 30s, and it's been actually a battle between the family that owned it and the city of certain land rights and who owns certain portions of it, and it's been a big mess. Essentially, they sold, you know, a good bit of the acreage to the city, or the county, I believe, a couple years ago, and now there's one other parcel closer to the 312 bridge that they didn't decide on yet, right? And they just recently sold it. I think it was 2 acres for $500,000 right on the intercoastal there, which is going to be now a passive park. There was talk about putting condos there. There was talk about putting a car wash there. And God knows we need another car wash in town. But not exactly what you want when you are trying to preserve history. This was also something, I have to find it here. Paul Thompson was the family that owns it, or that did own it. But the ruins there from the 1700s and their environmentally sensitive land in the Fish Island Preserve. So the city is actually going to be building or pledging $100,000 towards rebuilding replicas of the plantation's historic buildings or create educational signage. The third party involves a separate island called County Island. So 35 years, it's finally over. The Thompson family has been in a land dispute with the city over County Island just south of Fish Island. The deal resolves it, and the city is giving up part of County Island to the Thompsons, and it'll be under a conservation easement. So it's actually great news, right? I mean, that to me, that seems like great news. That they actually came to a resolution in that we're not getting a car wash right on the intercoastal or a passive park with a condo building right in the middle of it. And with pretty much a lot of the natural beauty in St. Augustine, St. Johns County, we want to keep that, right? Now I'm all for development. You guys know this. I'm on here all the time. You know, if we don't develop more homes, then the prices of homes are going to be even more expensive than they are right now, right? And that's just basic supply and demand. But then you have people who just don't seem to care about that for some reason. But maybe I'm just a realtor and I want to sell homes, the most expensive homes. No, I want what's best for everyone, right? If you build more homes, then homes are more affordable, then people can live in them, right? But I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. So let's go on to the next news story, guys. This one's actually kind of cool. If you're familiar, Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, they have some good acts. They actually just shut down. They packed the house of about 480 people, and they're doing some major renovations at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, and it'll be closed until 2025. They had a good rendering of what they want it to look like, which is right here. So it looks, I mean, it almost looks like a school, to be honest. But it's definitely an older building. They've done their share of shows there, so this is good. We definitely need this to happen. They do also have a lot of comedy shows there too, which I think is awesome. So if you were looking to go, unfortunately, fortunately, they're going to be closing up for renovations. So let's see here, switch it back over. There we go. All right. So guys, that's it. That's all I got for you this week. Looks like we got some questions here. Let's see. We got, pull it up here. Mary Lou Toomey. What are the sales numbers for condos in St. Augustine up/down? Okay. Just give me 1 second here and I will pull those numbers up. Give me 1 second. It's going to take me a little bit. I don't have the direct information right in front of me, but I will share my screen so you guys can see what's going on. My internet seems to be moving at a snail's pace, of course. I think it's this one right here. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Sales price, time series, price distribution by property type. Okay, show filters. Boom. We're talking in St. Johns County, right? I just want to make sure. I imagine so, because that's pretty much what I cover every week here. But just in case. So we're just looking at all of St. Johns County. Hide the filters here. So looks like we are up 1% from the same time last year, and then we are up 4.3% from last month. So that's kind of no surprise there. You can see that we've hit some choppiness, but typically you can almost see that every year February is the year where you have kind of the lowest pricing. And I covered that last week, just kind of how our seasonality of our market works. But let's see, this is probably February there. Okay, so of course this proves me wrong right here, but you know, January right there, February right there. So maybe one condo skewed it a little bit, but this is March right there, February right there. So, you know, February's in the middle here. There you go, right there at the bottom. So February, March. So yeah, so up 1% year over year, up 4.3% month over month. So that's, you know what, there's not that many condos really in St. Augustine. The majority of our homes here are actually single family homes, tons of them. So it really bothers me. Let me know what you think about this, Mary, that they're building all of these luxury rentals all over the place. And it's like, oh, luxury rentals starting at $2,000 a month, starting at $2,500 a month. And it's like, why don't we just build condos for people so that they get their foot in the door and they can own something? But no, we don't do that. We don't do that. We build townhomes and we build luxury rentals opposed to condo buildings because the profit margins aren't as good as, you know, owning a rental building that's going to rent out for that much money for however many years. So I hope that answered your question there, Mary. Yeah, you said St. Augustine. Okay, so we're up, which is good, all over St. Johns County. So, and up 4.3% month over month. So that's, as we're getting to the summer months, we're going to start to see prices start to go up again, right? And that's just the seasonality of our market. Summer is peak selling season, peak buying season, and then as you go into the end of the year, no one really wants people running through their house during the holidays. And then January, February, kind of like weird months, and then March really things start to pick up. So Mary, if you're looking to buy a condo, you're looking to sell a condo, let me know. I'd love to be able to help. Let's go on to the next comment here. We got CB. Glad to see the county will construct 4 new fire stations to help lower insurance rate for those areas not currently near a fire station. Yeah, you know what? I should have pulled that news story there too. I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, 4 new fire stations coming. Also, I just had a conversation with someone today who reached out to me from YouTube, looking to move from Jersey, about what's going on over at World Golf Village. And I know I covered it, I think it was last week before, how St. Johns County bought like the whole World Golf Village area there, like where the Hall of Fame is and everything. They bought all the commercial buildings there for like $5 million. And I wonder if they'll put something out there as well. I'm kind of curious if it's going to go one way or the other. I know they talked about putting a public library there. I know they said they want to kind of control what goes in there so that, you know, there's just not a whole bunch of storage facilities and like private business, because it could be something really cool. I think that area has just been kind of depressed for a little bit, like not the surrounding area that's the homes, like all the prices have gone up, but like that specific little commercial parcel hasn't grown. I wonder if they'll either turn it into like a public, you know, government section where you will see like a fire station, we'll see a library, police station maybe, you know, driver's license. And that's the other thing I said, like, you really don't have any options to get your driver's license on the west side of 95. You know, you really have to travel all the way over to, you know, US 1 to get your A1A to get your driver's license, which is not necessarily, you know, for all the growth that we're having in the northwestern part of St. Johns County, it would make sense. So we'll see, but hopefully the insurance rates start going down, then we have people moving back, more insurance companies moving back in. One heck of a business, insurance. That's why I was talking to one of my buyers about that, who owned an insurance company, and he just closed on a house over here, and I was just saying, you know, I always thought that'd be a great business, you know, because regardless if the market's good, the market's bad, you still need insurance, right? So very interesting stuff. But CB, Mary, I appreciate you guys, everyone that's on the live stream here. Appreciate you guys watching. If you are watching from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, just let me know. Throw me a comment below just so I know that you're watching and that all these things are working. That would be very helpful. But guys, we're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We're going over the market stats. We're going over the news that you need to know about. Think about buying, selling, or investing here in Northeastern Florida. And we're also doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments about what I covered, maybe you like what I said, maybe you don't, let me know in the comments below. Here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to help you. So if you have any questions, reach out to me and my team directly. Literally all we do, we're not like pushy salespeople, and maybe that's to my detriment sometimes, but I just give you the information. You can make an educated decision, and we'll move forward. Until next week, guys, have a good one.